Hello, and welcome to Practically Paranormal, your paranormal podcast for campfire stories. Throughout our journey together, we will road trip to all 50 United States, uncovering and discussing their unknowns. Our topics will range from ghost stories, alien encounters, urban legends, mythological creatures, and more. And whenever possible, I will be interviewing locals from these states, trying to figure out their inside scoop to some lesser known stories. So, without further ado, we journey to our first state, Alabama. So, buckle up, kick back, relax, turn on the lights if you need to, and join me as we dive into the paranormal. The first ghost story we're going to talk about in Alabama is the Highway 5 ghost. So the story goes, on a rainy night in Lynn, Alabama, a teenage girl was on her way home from prom. But shortly after leaving prom, she got into an argument with her boyfriend. She demanded to be let out, and he obliged. So, this girl, now stuck in the pouring rain, began her journey back home. But, unfortunately, she never made it to her destination. While walking, she was struck by an 18-wheeler and killed. The driver never stopped. It wasn't until the following morning that her body was found, sopping wet in a ditch. Supposedly, if you're to drive an 18-wheeler down Highway 5 today, on a rainy night, you'll see the Highway 5 ghost. This poor young soul taken too early. The ghost is said to linger on the side of the road, stand in the middle as a hulking black mass, or, more notably, clinging on the side of 18-wheelers. It has been reported by numerous truck drivers and other drivers on the road that they have seen this girl clinging to the side of their truck, peering in through the window. The rumor is that she does this to try to see if you're the truck driver that killed her on that fateful night. And if you're not, she vanishes. Now, in all the stories that I covered in Alabama, this one was one of the more interesting to me because of how many people commented that they knew it was true, that they had their own personal experiences with it. One commenter says, "The Jasper ghost is true." The comment explains that his wife and him were driving down Highway 5 and maybe 1 or 2 a.m. and were following behind an 18-wheeler when suddenly it slammed on its brakes, swerved all over the road, and stopped. The couple went out to check on the truck driver, and he was in a fit of terrified paranoia. He kept saying over and over again that he had hit a girl and he had killed her, and she went off into the woods. They called 911 for the police and an ambulance, and in the meantime went out searching for the girl, but couldn't find her anywhere. When the police arrived, they began inspecting, but they can't find any signs of impact, blood, they can't find a body, nothing. And after this futile search, the police officer explained that these types of calls on this particular strip of road were not uncommon. In fact, they get them so often that they just dismiss it as the Highway 5 ghost. Another commenter says it's real. This man was driving down the same strip of road around 2:30 a.m. when he saw a black mass knelt down in the middle of the road. He said it shot over to the right as he was passing by, and shot over again to his car. He said an electric shock went down his whole body, as a freezing cold gust of air came in. He thought this was particularly odd, as it was August 16th in Alabama, which is known to be particularly warm, and he became very startled by this. He said a presence joined him as the air around him became dreadful and heavy, and every time he closed his eyes, he had a vision of a young woman with long black hair that was sopping wet. He said he prayed as much and as hard as he could to get this spirit to leave him, but no matter how hard he tried, it wouldn't depart from his vehicle, and instead stayed with him all the way past Birmingham, when noticeably and suddenly departing. And he ends his statement saying that not only is this ghost real, but it's powerful. Then the remaining comments I'll summarize. Explained that they either know truck drivers or they are truck drivers themselves, and whether it be speaking to their friends or co-workers, or if their experience was from themselves, that everyone seems to agree this is not a legend, but it is truth. And if you're driving on a rainy night down Highway 5, you may encounter the ghost of this teenage girl. That concludes our first ghost story. If you enjoyed learning about this specter, please join me as we talk about 8 more notable ghost stories of Alabama. Just click the link in the description or embed it in the video. My live show is upcoming Friday, which is 03/18/2022, and will cover Alaska. Can't watch it live? That's fine. You can find it here on YouTube every Monday or Tuesday. And if you have your own ghost stories, well, I'd like to hear them. You can send them to my email in the description. Thank you for watching or listening, and I hope you have a good and safe night.